It was just a few days ago that Ram unveiled this, the 2025 Ram 1500 RHO performance off-road truck. But in this video, I want to show you some available colors for the RHO, but I also want to tell you a secret. Or actually, well, not quite a secret. It's a truck that's more affordable than even this, that I think a lot of people would want to buy, but not a lot of people are talking about. So let's start right here. So the configurator for the Ram RHO is not available yet, but we have just these colors to play around with. So there's 7 colors, and it's two-tone arrangement, just like the TRX also had. So they have several really cool colors. I think blue is my favorite. For the RHO, of course, they changed the grille a tiny bit. The headlamps are new. The front bumper is a little bit new. But it's still a wide-body truck with Bilstein Blackhawk E squared shocks, semi-active suspension, and now a Hurricane engine under the hood, which is a 540 horsepower engine. But if you wanted to learn more about the RHO, you could check out my video on alltfl.com, because I went hands-on with it. And also a couple of questions about this from you. Yes, it has a Dana 60 E-Lock rear axle, and it's a full-time four-wheel drive system, which means it's all-wheel drive all the time. It does have a 4-low. But now I want to tell you a little bit about some more affordable trucks. So for 2024, currently, you can also configure a Ram Classic. This is a Warlock. I'm talking about off-road trucks now, not just work trucks, but off-road trucks. It's just interestingly enough, the Warlock is available in two-wheel drive as a crew cab, or also a quad cab for $43,635. Yes, that RHO starts at about $72,000 with destination, but this is almost $30,000 less. But of course, why would you buy a two-wheel drive Warlock? I mean, I think most of us, especially in Colorado, want 4x4. So when you select 4x4, it's going to cost you $47,485. But you probably already knew that. You can get a crew cab for $50. But this is the secret I want to tell you. For 2025 Ram 1500s, there's a new Warlock in town. And I briefly showed you a Warlock truck, but I want to show you how it can be configured. So you have to start with a tradesman. You have to go to crew cab with a standard 5-foot 7-inch bed. You have to select 4x4. Then you click build. Once again, I want something just other than white. So I'm going to pick red color, which is free. I don't have to pay extra for red. So I'm going to keep that. But I'm going to scroll all the way down. I'm going to ignore all this stuff. And I'm going to select the Warlock package. This is pretty sweet, guys. It has beefier tires, 275/70 R18s, which is basically a 33-inch tall tire. It's a Goodyear DuraTrack. I click it. It adds a bunch of stuff for me. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on here. But here's what I get. It's gonna change right there. So it's got a small lift, maybe an inch taller than other Ram 4x4s. It's got the beefy tire. It doesn't have all the skid plates of a Rebel, for example, but it has lots of capability. Locking rear differential, and 6-person configuration, cloth seats. I'll show you that in a second, hold on. I'm trying to load it so it can rotate for you. And let me show you what else it added for me. Yes, of course, the tires were there, but here's the interior. You can see it's a kind of a 6-person configuration because the middle seat is not a console, it's a seat, but it doesn't have a brake controller. So we have to add that. Also, I would add the auxiliary power outlet, which is a 400-watt system. I know it's not too much, but I love having it in trucks to charge laptops and other tools. Brake controller is at $295. Right there, pretty simple. I don't need other technologies. and a lot of other stuff is already included. Like I said, locking rear differential, black badging, fuel tank skid plate, full-size spare tire, so matching spare basically. And it also added the Hurricane engine standard output. Let me go back to the engine here. Sorry for scrolling so much. It was $26.95. This is 420 horsepower and 469 pound-feet of torque. So that's quite a lot of power. Yes, it's not 540 horsepower, but look at this. A lot of towing and payload capability is available with this truck. Maybe not quite those high numbers, but something close to that. So you have towing capability, you have payload capability, you have lots of horsepower and torque, you have an 8-speed auto, you have an off-road package, which is actually has some substance, not just stickers and graphics. You do have a locker, you have bigger tires, you have a slight lift, and price is $56,805, including the towing features I showed you with the brake controller. So this is still, what, about 13 plus 2, about 15,000 less than an RHO, quite a bit less than the Rebel. I'll show you Rebel here in a second as well. And I think it's a good looking truck. So that's, I think, part of the secret is this new Warlock. I think you get a lot of value, a lot of truck for your buck for $56,805. And yes, you may not have the fancy front bumper. Of course, you're not getting the wide body. You're not getting a lot of those features. But I think most of us just want a truck that does everything pretty well. And I think this is what the Warlock does. If you're curious about the Rebel, it's down here. It starts at $64,490. Only available as a crew cab. I can also have it in red. But already, as soon as I even touch this configurator, and you can see it has some graphics, and of course, different suspensionable Bilstein shocks, bigger screen, interior trim that the Warlock will not have, different luxury features. You can load it up even further. Of course, I'll add the brake controller. You can load it up even further, but as soon as you touch anything, you also have the GT package, Rebel Level 2 packages, and the new Rebel X package to celebrate the 10th anniversary of the Rebel, although the Rebel X is not quite here on the configurator quite yet. But as soon as you touch anything, you're already at $66,485. And I've seen a Rebel near $82,000 with a lot of options. So I think that Warlock is still a very, very good value. And now you can configure it just the way you love it and perhaps even order it and pick it up. So that's the little secret I wanted to share with you. Of course, it's not really a secret, but I think that Warlock package was going to send some waves through the industry because it's more than an F-150 FX4 package. It's more than a Z71. It's kind of a trail boss equivalent maybe in a way. In GM's lineup, but it's not, of course, a ZR2. The Warlock package wouldn't compete with that, but I think it kind of hits in the middle of that lineup for good value off-roader, and very capable and very handy truck as well. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Check out oldtfl.com for everything automotive news, all the news right there in one place. I'll see you next time.